Hey, Tankers, Monzo Duck here. Today, we have an interview with Nonamanadus. For those of you who know Nona, he has been following, one of the first followers I had to the channel. I got to know Nona when we would be following Guido 1212. Not that we're not still following Guido 1212, but got to see his games and got to know him as a little bit as a player. So I reached out to Nona, and he gratefully accepted the invitation to come on and be interviewed. So without further ado, Nonamanadus. Okay, so here we are with Nonamanadus. Say hi, Nona.
Hello.
Nonamanadus, obviously everybody who watches my channel sees your videos, and I greatly appreciate you sending those to me. But you've shown yourself to be a very wily competitor in the tank game. I can't say you're either aggressive or non-aggressive. You're smart play. And so Sometimes? Okay.
Well. Yeah. Sometimes I make some really bad ones. When you get blown up in the first 30 seconds with no spotting or damage, it's kind of humiliating.
Oh, well, it happens to us all, right? So, Nona, tell us a little bit about yourself. As much personal information as you feel you want to share, that's fine. Like if you want to tell us where you're at in the world, stuff like that. So, where are you?
All right. Well, I grew up on a farm, so I had to deal with dial-up internet. And my first computer was a Commodore 64, which I was restricted to on hockey night because the interference would screw up the TV.
On hockey night, okay.
Yeah. So I progressed from that. I've always had, grew up around computers, and I played a lot of, since it was bad internet, just personal single-player games like Diablo or Panzer General. That was a real favorite of mine when I was younger. And first time I really started to play against other players was like Halo on the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, I progressed over to EVE Online, and that's that game requires dedication because some guys, that's their job, is to run the CO of those corporations.
Okay.
And that was interesting because I was involved in one battle. There was 5,000 guys involved in it, so.
Wow.
It became like a second job, so I had to migrate from that to World of Tanks.
Okay.
And World of Tanks has been pretty on my mainstay. I've tried some other games in that. I tried Destiny. It was great, but then they start to cap the weapons, and you start to have to do an endless grind for your weapons because they're getting nerfed each pass. But I'm up in Canada here in Saskatchewan, so kind of a lower population density, small town here.
Yeah. Okay. How long have you been playing World of Tanks?
What was it? I think it was 2013 or something like that. Because my computer is a 2009 Alienware. So I use that for a benchmark.
Wow.
So I think it was 2013.
Yeah.
I wrote it down. Yeah, if I wrote it down somewhere. February 2013. I got cheat notes.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
And I think I heard you say you have a house general like the rest of us?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she probably keeps you in line.
Yeah, she got me good. I'm a good boy now. Used to be bad, but now she showed me the light.
I see. So what, I guess you said you got started with the Commodores. What got you started in, obviously, online or computer gaming?
I think it was a Halo because of the console. Just playing against, because I beat Halo, I think it was Halo 2 or something like that. I beat that, so the next thing I did was start doing the PvP stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we got comfortable with that, and then I got the computer and started playing EVE Online.
Okay. All right. So
it brings a bigger dynamic to it, I guess, because playing against the early bot systems or whatever, you start to read the pattern, and then you can just bait your opponents out. But with real people, you don't know what they're thinking, really.
Right. I remember the first computer game I ever played. I worked for Citibank, which is now Chase Banking, and I worked at nights, and I was in the data processing center, right? So in the early morning on Saturday, they had all this down CPU time that they wouldn't use, and of course it was all mainframe at the time. So I played Star Trek on the mainframe. And
was that on DOS?
It wasn't on DOS. It was IBM mainframe. So I want to say it was even pre COBOL.
COBOL. Oh, I got the program in that language in college. That's with the columns and all that.
They were still programming with cards and card readers at the time.
Yeah, I had a '84 Ford Escort. It came with the punch card in the owner's manual. I still got that somewhere.
Yeah.
And then when I worked in the grain elevator, they had the old digital computers with the big disk packs. They looked like tank mines.
Yep.
Yeah, and it took about a minute for them to build up speed.
Yep. We used to hang tapes, and they have a big tape library and the whole 9 yards. But I would that game was pretty much you just enter coordinates. And then sit back, let the CPU process it, and come back and say, "Okay, you're close."
Your shot missed. Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I remembered that.
So, I mean, I've always been obviously I'm a computer geek, so I'm into the computer games. But World of Tanks. From the first commercial, I think I was watching the History Channel, and I saw the commercial for it, and I was like, I gotta figure that game out.
Well, like I've always been a World War II buff because like my parents and uncle were involved in it. So like I got the Encyclopedia Britannica on that when I was like 12. I bought it myself, so I was really fat, and I did the little model tanks and all that. So kind of brought me in that way.
Okay, so let's get a little bit about the game. So, I guess give us your thoughts on what you like about World of Tanks.
Well, I like trying to get in other players' minds or the other team's strategy, and then just like working in behind, or like making a breakthrough or something like that, just outplaying them.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's every match, even on the same map, is different because you see how the teams deploy and what kind of tanks they got. Like if you see 3 Ardean mines, you're going to play that a lot different than if there's just TDs.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, so you use it just kind of to toy with others?
It's like a strategy game.
Strategy. I don't know how much strategy you can have in a random battle, but okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can, because I think it was Proc there. I was in Tier 8, that Czech premium tank, I believe it was, against some Tier 9s, and basically left me unmolested on the hill. So I just sat up there, and I got like close to 5K spotting.
Huh?
They were making mistakes, so I just let them.
Yeah, that works. I was on Proc yesterday in my Polish medium, and I didn't get left unmolested. I had an IS-3A just roll right in and just decimate me.
Well, they should have done that, because I was the only one left up there, but they just kept sitting on the far side, and the middle was they were getting lit, and then the middle was sniping them off, so they got the little passive, I guess.
Yeah, do you like the changes they made to Proc with the deeper dip and the little hill on the backside?
Yeah, because if you're a smaller tank, it works better. It's a pretty campy map, eh? It's all about spotting there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a vision map.
But I prefer that than over the corridor maps, where it's more about armor and penetration. So if you're like on Minsk, if you're in a squishy tank, you can't go up front really too good.
Right. So what tank class do you generally tend to play?
Well, when I first started out, it was like the heavy German line, because the German tanks were superior to everything else. And I had a really bad WTR rating for the like 10 to 15,000 battles, because I just didn't understand the game. I just played. But like when I got with Guido, start to understand the dynamics. But right now, my favorite line is the mediums, because they're the most flexible. And I really like the Brasa tank. It's got no armor, but it's like a souped up version of the FCM 50, which I don't recommend anyone buying because it's too big. I think the armor's about the same, isn't it? So,
could be. I mean, the Barask is what, a 12T with just a beefier turret, kind of. You know,
well, there's no beef on it. It's lower profile.
Yeah,
and it's way faster.
Yeah.
Like that tank, it intimidates me to no end because I jump in and I know I'm just a big billboard.
Oh, the FCM or the
Yeah, like the Brass, you put a turbo on that and you get your suspension, like your crew training on that. She motors really nice. It's like a heavy light.
Yeah.
I don't like playing lights, but it's right there, nice combination.
That's now. I got some videos that you sent me, obviously, that are going to be coming up with that. And so, have you just recently picked up the Barask, or have you had it for a while? Yeah. Okay.
No, I just picked up this last go around.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because
what got me is like when I'm fighting against them, they can pound me pretty good. Like certain players, they'll just come in there and they'll just maul me bad. I like the way they were just doing the hit and run tactics.
Yeah. Now they're. I would say the thing that gets me is, like I've always said in my videos, is I want that third shell. I have to have that third shell. If they could give me that.
If you put that third shell in, it'd be overpowered.
Oh yeah.
Especially with the Unicoms, they'll just do everything.
Yeah. So, what's the least favorite class that you like to play outside of Artie?
Well, no, Artie's great. I was playing it last night because I was having some beers and we weren't winning, so I thought I'd step on some ants. So I'm just sitting there and I'm getting top damage with it because it's no skill. You just sit in the red line and click.
Yeah.
Like I watch this on Berlin. I watch this IF3. He's creeping up to shoot, so I had pre-aimed and he got up there and I popped him. There's no skill.
Yeah, I use Artie to decompress.
Yeah, that or the Type 5.
Oh,
like
okay.
it just derps. Like I had a version 4 trying to side scrape me once, and I just kept derping them and just whittled them down to nothing.
Okay, all right. So again, what is your least favorite class then?
The light tanks.
The light tanks.
I'm not skilled enough to run around with them. Because if you make a mistake in a light tank, you get vaporized real quick.
Oh yes, it's a.
And you gotta know the map more, I guess. And I don't memorize the maps that well. Plus, I've never played much for light, so I don't know where to go.
Yes, knowing where to hide and where to run away from is always a valuable.
Yeah. So you always see that one guy on the little map, and then he goes out of your draw range, and all of a sudden he just disappears.
Yeah. And next thing you know, he's behind you.
Yeah, you guys didn't help me. Wow, I can't shoot through a mountain.
Yes, you got to love the lights who charge into the other side and then go, where's the support?
Yeah. But I had a guy last night do that, but he went right for the Artie, and I got one of them. And then he got the other one. So
okay. Now, do you play the wheeled vehicles at all?
I got that Tier 8 Premium, but I don't really play them. It's a light.
Yeah.
I'm not really too much of a fan on them, but I know the Tier 10 wheels are just way overpowered.
Oh, they're a nightmare.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. What's your favorite map? Do you have a favorite map?
El Halaf.
El Halaf? Okay.
Yeah, I like that one. The one with the Magic Forest. I like that one too.
Oh, what is that? Is that Maravanka?
Maybe Maravanka. Because of the hills, I go into the forest and fight the goblins.
You like the Magical Forest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I'm in a really heavy tank with bad gun depression, then you got to go the other side. So you got to play the map with the tank.
Okay. All right. And then again, what's your least favorite map? I'm sorry?
I don't like Berlin.
Berlin? Oh.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's just too much of a corner. Like one side it's all corner and the other one's just all camp fest. It's totally unbalanced as far as I'm concerned.
I haven't quite figured that map out yet. I mean, I've gone afield quite a bit. Yesterday, I tried to play in the city, and although I thought we did fairly well, I ended up getting my arse handed to me. But it is a difficult one, and especially in a tank with no gun depression.
No.
Yeah, so
it's a worse version of Minsk. Is the best way I would say it.
Okay. I'm not a big Minsk fan either. But
Well, one side on Minsk is all armor and pen, and the other one's who YOLO's first, because you got a huge, like, there's basically two sides of that one building where you can pop through, and
right.
everyone's aiming at it. So the guy that pops through is going to be the sacrificial lamb. So
I agree. Whoever can take that middle road generally can control what's going on. But so you said you were about 10,000 games into it before you decided you wanted to I guess pick up your game, make it better on your stats wise. What did you do to do that?
like that was when Guido first started his channel,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was one of the first 5 subscribers to his channel. And I sent him replays. Like, I think my first replay was my great game in the Udis, but basically I was camping and, like, farming damage,
Uh-huh.
sitting there waiting, and just like a hawk or a kingfisher, waiting for the fish to come out and nail him. And he starts to get your thought process, because you're playing by yourself without any criticism. You don't learn nothing because your perspective is all skewed. So you need an outside voice to get you to think.
Right.
So I
Okay.
sent them a bunch of videos and that got the ball going. And then, like, watching everyone's bit replays too, like, okay, yeah, guess he should have went this way, or he could have went that way. So it's basically like a coach.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, that's I was in the same boat. I think I was roughly 20,000 into the game before I decided I needed to get better. But so it's still a struggle. But you're right. I mean, I guess it's when you come to the honesty that you can either keep doing the same thing over and over and over and failing, or you can change the way that you're doing it. And I agree. Guido, go ahead.
And one thing with Guido is he starts to build your confidence in the game, because that's half the problem is they lose a couple games and their confidence level goes down,
Right.
and then they get really passive, right? And then just sit there, and then next thing you know, they're the last tank standing.
Right. No, I agree.
It's a lot of mind game stuff.
Do you go back and rewatch your replays a lot? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
The ones that I think are good, and then I look at them, they're not that good, so I throw them out.
But are you learning from the mistakes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. I know, based on the comments that you make in the videos that when obviously we were on Guido's channel a lot, and his YouTube, and I would see your comments, and then the comments you make on you put a lot of thought process into the game. Now, I don't know if that's being hindsight's 20/20 type of scenario, or are you constantly thinking that way while you're playing the game? Because
personality thing, so I'm always a critical thinker. Like, when I'm at work, I always think of better ways to do a job or something like that.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to work harder, not smarter, and that just why go the hard route when you can do it easy?
Right. Okay. So when you pop into a game and given a random and you're not platooned, let's say, okay, you're all by yourself. I mean, what's the first thing? Walk us through the process of what you look at, before the battle really starts.
Well, see if it's one of my favorite maps, and if it's like Minsk or something like that, I see if they got soft skin vehicles or like heavies, and where they're going to go, and what my lineup is, and then just watch the deployment. Like, if everyone goes to the left, I'll might stay on the right side, but I won't be aggressive. I'll have a route of escape, so I can do some cheap shots and then run.
Okay.
Or if I'm in something that's like a really good hold down beast, I can sit there and punish them when they try and push.
Okay.
Like, I got no problem with fighting four tanks if I'm hauled down on something that gives them pause, because if they got to go across a bunch of open ground, and I can take 2,000 hit points, buy them time. But I've done that once in my Jag Tiger. What was it, on that Golden Coast or whatever? I can't
Serene
remember.
Coast?
Yeah. And I was in the Jag Tiger, and I held off like 4 tanks on my side, and the whole team died on the other, and I was the last guy standing. So even though it was a loss, I thought it was a win for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we're not going to win every game, right? So I
No,
guess if you can at least be, I find myself often being the last man standing,
yeah.
and going, oh, this is
I
not.
don't know if that's more embarrassing being the last guy standing or the first guy dead.
I've been that guy too.
Yeah.
Usually it's when I turn around and there's nobody there to support me, and it's like, okay.
Oh, it's that ammo rack.
Yeah.
You're crossing.
Yes, the ammo rack. So, what do you find the most frustrating about the game, if anything?
Because you're driving along there and your tank starts lurching and twitching,
Uh-huh.
and you check your ping, and your ping's good, but then the red dot up in the top left corner is flashing red once in a while, and then you put on that ping plotter, and it's down at close to wargaming zone. Like,
Right.
you're creeping up to a building there, then you get packet loss, and next thing you know, your tank's out in the open.
Yeah, you're sitting out there in the open going, oh, how did I get here?
Yeah, and then you're dead.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Do you now you're part of I believe your clan's called HBG? HGB?
Yeah. HGB.
And what's that stand for?
Hell's Bent Gunners or something like that.
Okay.
HBG, yeah.
Okay. Do you do a lot of clan stuff?
Maybe once a month we do skirmishes.
Uh-huh.
But mostly we just random, like sync drop or something like that, see if we can fight against each other.
Okay. So clan drops, yeah, I used to do that quite a bit. Do you ever do any of the clan wars or anything like that?
No, we don't. We're not that intense, I guess.
Do you now? Do you play any of the special modes like what was it, Steel Hunter or Frontline?
I played Frontline one season, then it's just too grindy. Like anything that's grindy, I really hate because it reminds me of my EVE Online background, and I just can't deal with this.
Okay, all right. Well, I certainly can understand that.
The 15-minute commitment is better than guys waking up at 2 a.m. and playing for 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I can hear you there. Let's see. So, I guess if you were to help a newer player, what would be some of the things that you've learned that you would pass along to them?
That every game's a learning curve, and you should watch a few of his good games each day, and then not write down what mistakes he notices, and then send them in to someone else to review.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that just because you buy a premium tank doesn't mean that you're going to be, uber good. Because I bought my low there, and low. I think low guys are still got a rep in the game for being bad.
Well, it took me quite a while before my low and I had that, good working skill group together to where I could actually benefit from it.
Yeah.
I think with any tank, it's whether it's a premium or you're doing the grind, you got to play a lot of games in it to understand the goods and the bads, right? So
yeah.
What is your number one tank, your fallback tank that you love to play?
Right now it's the Brasa, but I would go to the FCM 50.
Mm-hmm.
I like my premiums because it makes money for me. But I got the AMX 49. It's just little. I got about 5 or 6 little tanks that I focus on, I guess.
Okay. All right. Now, are you trying to grind through all the lines?
No, I'm avoiding the Chinese one because that's basically the same as the Russian. So I don't like reinventing the wheel.
Aren't the Czech and the Polish and aren't they all?
I got all the Polish. I'm doing the Czech line, as you know, like that crappy Tier 8 monster.
Oh, the VT TPU or whatever.
The tank that shall not be named.
That is a wonderful grind, isn't it?
Oh, that's bad.
Well, trust me, when you get to the Tier 9, it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. I'm just going to get some blueprints and just re-experience it up that way.
Yes, I when I started that grind, I quit that grind several times because of that tank. You know, I'd start up
Yeah.
and I'd say, okay, I'm going to do it this time. And I'd play a couple games and I'd be, no, I'm not going to do it this time.
So if you grinded that Czech TVP tank, you should get a free pass on this Polish one.
You
shouldn't be punished twice for the same thing.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So, what's your advice to intermediate players? I guess players that aren't new, but yet maybe aren't up to your skill.
Let's get someone to mentor them or something like that. Like, I never get a chance to do the tank practices on those maps, you know, where you can pick a couple of people and then just go in and play by yourselves to learn the map.
The training missions?
Yeah, I never really got into that. It's mostly just playing the game. But if you're starting out, that'd be the best way. One thing I wish is Wargaming would let a single guy just go in on his own and just drive around the map.
Yeah, that would really be
to get a feel instead of having, you know, like look for a buddy or something like that, because that would help a lot.
Yeah, that would be really nice. I noticed in your latest videos that you've sent me, you're doing a lot of experimenting with the equipment, the new equipment.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on the new equipment layouts.
Well, I took the gun lane drive off the Scorpion in the SU 130, and I put that 5% aim time on, and that made quite a difference.
Did it?
So you can, yeah, I've been doing some snapshots with my Scorpion and that. And Scorpion's not really good for snapshotting.
No,
but it made a difference. You could go into your do your comparison between the two, but that 5%, it's noticeable.
Okay. Well, I'll have to take that because I like my Scorp and the SU-130. You know, those are my fallback.
The Scorp I put optics on, but the SU I kept the binoculars on because the SU's not as mobile.
Right.
So.
No, you're correct there. What other new equipment have you been playing around with?
I tried that new Commander's Vision system for the lights, but I haven't really done much with the lights. But I know it sure screws with your own camo, because if you're on airfield, on the one spot there with the bush, and he's across on the other hill, he'll light you.
Oh, really?
And I got lit.
Oh.
Without even shooting, so you got to watch out for that. It's supposedly a little overpowered from what I've seen online.
Now, do you think that the maps? I mean, obviously, you know, before the, I guess before they increased all the mediums vision, when the lights were truly what lights were supposed to be doing, going out and lighting everything up, and they were the bane of the existence of tankers per se. The maps are so small. Do you think that increasing the vision game? I mean, if you get on like let's say mines or airfield, where you can sit in one spot and have a pretty good vision of a lot of the whole map, right?
Well, 8/10 of the map you can light on mines if you get in the right spot.
Right. So, do you think that increasing vision in equipment? I mean, you're right. The burn through that Commander's Vision is doing to some of these areas is just making the old meta inhospitable.
Yeah. But then on proc, it's still a camping game, so you know, like, it's a balance issue. It's always will be, because there's a big discrepancy between maps. Okay.
Well, to that, what are your thoughts on the balance of the game? I mean, if you could fix the balance in, you know, 100 words or less, what would be where would you start?
I would restrict already to one per team, because it's still way overpowered. Like, a guy drinking beers shouldn't be finishing top damage on his team. And the wheelies, I would take their auto aim away, and if they get hit in the tires or something like that, they really get hit. Yeah. Instead of bouncing. Like, you shouldn't be bouncing a heavy shell off of the tires.
No. It should be taking that tire right off the vehicle.
And I don't know about the RNG, because the RNG is what, 25% or something like that?
Yeah, plus or minus. Yeah.
I would dial that down to like 15, you know, like 18 or something like that, because some of these guys are making snapshots across the map and they're hitting you.
Mm, true. Now, have you ever played like War Thunder?
Yeah, it's hard for me to see stuff because it's not lit proper.
Right.
The visuals just not for me.
No, I understand. I Noble Wolf had talked me into loading that and playing a couple games with him, and I was getting hit by stuff I couldn't see, and I was like, dude, where are these guys at?
And I got a 27-inch monitor, like it's the G-Sync,
Yeah.
and I can't see these guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, but it's my understanding that they have a more realistic, RNG factor, so, but,
well, they go into overkill though, I think, because they just, and how the shell goes into the tank and that, like, I don't know.
Yeah, the damage that it does inside the tank and stuff like that. So, now what do you think about, now, do you shoot a lot of gold or standard rounds?
Cheap that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like on my Lorraine 40, I don't have any gold.
Okay. All right. So
brass, I got 2 shells or 4 shells.
Okay.
I think it's 4.
So usually you just use it very sparingly or in an emergency situation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess is there any questions that you have for me or?
Like you're still enjoying this?
Doing what? The game or the videos? And
the video.
Oh no,
I think you'll be doing it.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoy doing the videos. It's the
like
game frustrates me. Yeah. I'm a guy who kind of needs a hobby. I coached hockey for 16 years. So when I stopped doing that, I had to find something to do. It's not that I don't like spending time with my family, but I have to have something to keep me busy. And if it wouldn't be this, I'd probably be into forging or something like that. So
I was thinking woodwork.
Yeah, well, that too. I mean, I would, if I had an extra garage space, I might take that up.
We got a clanmate that makes knives. Out of so he does nice jobs. And he was buying a custom anvil or something like that.
A custom anvil. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he makes a lot of little knives and stuff. So,
is there anything that you do outside of what?
Just yard work, I guess. I put a French drain in this year. Dug a 60-foot long trench by hand, and filled it with plastic and then gravel and put the decorative rock on top. And then that worked out pretty good. We've been getting lots of rain. Like one day we got 3 inches, so
that's
kept the basement from flooding.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. Well, Nona, I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate the interview. I mean, if there's any parting words of wisdom that you'd like to give anybody,
send replays in.
Send replays. So
it's nice to see from new blood on the channel.
Oh, yes, we
subscribe.
Now, do you do any streaming or any thoughts of streaming?
No. I can't really talk and stream at the same time. Maybe I'm not used to it or something like that. But I get distracted if I start analyzing vocally.
All right. Well, that's perfectly understandable. I mean, I hear you. Do you do a lot of platooning other than, I know you and Night Dog used to do a lot of platooning, didn't you?
Yeah, we haven't platooned for a while now, but it's just like clanmates. We just jump on there and try and improve our results because it's been like COVID campers, I guess, is what some people call them.
Well, to that point, not to bring up a late question, but to that point, do you think that since with the whole COVID thing, that's obviously changed the game somewhat, don't you think?
Yeah, there's an influx of people that need something to do, so they play the game, but they didn't really research the game. So then you see a lot of silly mistakes out there, and you just sort of shake your head at, but what do you do?
Well, and the ability to move through the ranks fairly quickly now with the 5 times and premium and all that. I mean, I think you see a lot more newer players. What I've noticed is a lot more newer players with fewer games under the belt at the higher tiers. So Definitely changes it.
They take their tank to the wrong spot, and then these other guys have to fill in the hole, which sometimes doesn't work out too good. But
well, no, it'll definitely be it'll be interesting to see what happens once this all settles back down and things go back to somewhat normal. If the game will change back. But
hopefully the numbers stay up, though.
Yeah, that is good. I do enjoy the numbers being up. It shows that there's a lot.
A positive thing from all the new players is, like there'll be a retention of some, so that'll boost our numbers, and over time they should be getting like a lot better for like playing as a team. So a lot of guys, I think they go out there and they're in a single player mode.
Right.
They don't look to assist each other.
No, I agree. I mean, to that point, we were all there at one time, right? Where
like I was pretty dumb in my low, so I was a stupid low driver.
Well, we've all been there. Yeah. But again, I appreciate the swinging by and doing the interview.
It was a pleasure.
We'll gladly have you back on anytime you feel like you want some stuff to share, and you're always welcome to come in platoon. So
sure, if you see me, you can send an invite.
All right.
So you do play this? You're on Discord on the game or TeamSpeak?
I do Discord now. I don't have a TeamSpeak channel anymore. So I mean, usually when I'm up, I fire up Discord just in case. Sometimes Mayhem will drop in or Noble Wolf will drop on, and then end up platooning. So if you see me online on Discord, I'm usually playing the game. So
okay.
Feel free to drop in. You have the link now, so you're good to go.
Yep, for sure.
And again, I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll put if you don't mind, I'll throw up your image when I edit the video of your system, so everybody has an idea of what you got going on there. And then I guess
like that computer desk. I think it was $50 in material. So wait, if you half-ass decent, it's not that hard to just download the plans.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Nona, is there anything else that you would like to toss at us before we let you go?
So I guess frame of mind. So if you start to get a little on the acidy side, just walk away from the game or play arty.
That's how you share the pain, is in arty.
Yeah. So you're looking down and you just transfer your pain to someone else.
All right. Well, Nona, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming by, and we'll speak to you later.
Okay, thank you.